welcome to the September 1st operational brief. Just a quick reminder, if your cell phones are on, please turn them off for the next few minutes. Our objectives for the day remain unchanged, so we're in that rinse and repeat cycle. And we'll go ahead and give it to Tom for weather.
Good morning, Tom Bird, incident meteorologist, and like we do every morning, we'll start out looking at the satellite imagery that we see this morning. And what we'll note is, just like we've seen the previous days, we've got some shower and thunderstorm activity out in the Gulf, most of it centered south of Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi. We have a few showers just off the Gulf. This is the debris cloud and the monsoon moisture plume that's clipping west Texas and the high plains. And just like we've been seeing, we've got that big area of generally clear skies over the state as we still have that high pressure kind of over us, but starting to shift off to the east a bit. This is what the current radar looks like this morning. There's those showers along the Gulf Coast, and we had some exiting storms out of the Panhandle. The rest of the state is high and dry. This is a look at lightning from overnight and yesterday afternoon. We had a lot of shower activity in this area, but we didn't have a lot of thunderstorm activity, so most of that rainfall was real light. We'll show that on the next slide. And we had some storms clipping West Texas and just barely getting into the Panhandle in the overnight hours. We'll see more of that today. Here's what our rainfall looked like over the last 24 hours. And like I said, we had a lot of shower activity in the East Branch, but it was isolated, sparse, was real light on as far as the amounts. There were just a few hundreds here and there. Down by the coast, you had a couple areas that got a quarter, 3/4 of an inch, but they were real isolated also. And we had more storm activity down in this region, and then just a little bit clipping out west and well up north, and the bulk of the state continued dry like we've been seeing. Is going back 14 days now at the precipitation that we've seen across the state, and we continue to see this big, huge area of the South Branch having next to no precipitation over the last 2 weeks. That continues north into the West Branch, the Northwest, and the North Branch, and we're starting to see this get some relief down here in the South Central and the Southeast branches when we're getting those Gulf showers day after day after day, which we'll continue to see today. Here's the 14-day deficit in precipitation, and what we're noticing is this area of red is expanding. So we have this large area that just hasn't seen much in the way of rain over the last 2 weeks. When I first got here, there was a line that cut through this area right here, and south was red, and you can see this whole area north of that line is now red. So we're looking at pretty big deficits expanding north and west as we speak. So here's our highlights for today and going forward. Today, that upper high that's centered kind of over the state right now will shift off to the east pretty quickly throughout the day. The interior of the state will remain dry. To the west and over the Panhandle, we're going to see a trough move in. That's going to give us some late day storms. It's going to be pretty significant, I think. And then just what we've seen yesterday with a little bit expanding footprint, we'll see East Texas and the coastal regions get more showers and thunderstorms. Temperature today will be just a tad lower, and the RH will be a bit higher. And then as we go through the weekend, we're transitioning now. That high pressure has been centered over us, kind of keeping most of the state dry, but it's going to shift well off to the east. We'll get a trough move in from the west. We'll start to see some Gulf impulses move in. So we're going to increase our potential for getting some significant rain across a good chunk of the state. So this is what our weather pattern looks like today. And by the end of the day, that high pressure will be shifted off away from the state. We see this trough starting to move in. We'll have a better opportunity to get Gulf moisture start moving in now that that ridge has moved off. So that'll give us a pretty good band of some showers and thunderstorms across the east and the coastal areas. To the west, we'll see this upper level trough start to move in. That's going to have impact really late today and overnight as we start to see thunderstorms move in out of Mexico. And then the center part of the state, just like we've been seeing, is going to stay dry. So looking at our temperatures this afternoon on our highs, these are just a bit cooler than what we've been seeing, but we're still kind of warm for this time of year. Within this area is where you'll have your higher heat indices, so trouble keeping your body cool if you're working hard. The RH is up just a bit, not a whole lot, but we keep trying to move this 30% line further west and get more of the state have a minimum RH of 30% or better. Winds, really no change from what we've been seeing, predominantly southeast until you go into the Panhandle and they become more southerly. Still seeing those gusty afternoon winds on the southern coast and through west and north Texas, but not really excessively strong. These are our footprints where we think we'll see the showers, the rainfall, and the thunderstorms today, and both of these areas are larger. This is daytime activity, and this is mostly evening and nighttime activity tonight. The models, this is today. This is what it thinks the storms will look like later today. This is, like I said, afternoon, and this is more evening. And this is what we think tomorrow will look like. There's a Gulf disturbance that's coming in Louisiana, so it's going to clip the southeastern part of the state. And so it looks like we'll have better rain chances as we get into Sunday as we move south and east. This is what we think the rainfall footprint will look like through the day today across state. And then this is like looking forward through the next week, okay? You see that high pressure has moved well off over the Carolinas now, and we've got basically low pressure loft over the western United States. And what you see down here is a little Gulf disturbance. Well, I guess I'm talking here first. Upper trough kind of cutting across the western northern parts of the state, giving those areas better chances of precipitation. And then we start to see these Gulf impulses moving in. Most of them come into the east, so most of the rainfall will be to our east, but it does help us get a better shot of precipitation as we look that way. A quick look at the tropics. They've been quiet the whole time I've been here until just the last day or two. We now have a tropical storm out here named Florence, but they think it's going to curl and kind of not even get into the United States. And then we have this little disturbance over the Dominican Republic and Haiti that in 5 days should be in the Gulf, and that's where it's going to encounter some warmer waters and could intensify. We were showing one model this morning that actually brings it into central Texas. The other models kind of keep it weak and open it up and pull it in east of us. But there's potential now for us to get some better rain with that right there happening. If you go through the week, through next Thursday, this is kind of what the accumulated precipitation looks like as you accumulate it from today through each one of those days. And so you can just see with time, through the weekend we stay pretty dry, and then we transition to a more wetter period as we get into next week. And if you go all the way through the next week, this is what the total rainfall forecast looks like for Texas. The green is a ½ inch or less. This blue is 1 inch or more. And this is my last day. I do appreciate all of you. It's been great working for Texas Forest Service, and all you out there in the field, stay safe. Chris McKinney is here today transitioning with me, and so he'll be the guy up here tomorrow. Have a great day. Now for ops.
Well, good morning, Les Rogers Operations. Yesterday we had new starts in the area that we're supporting outside of East Texas. East Texas had 5 new starts. All the 204s remain the same. The only movement that we'll have today is Uvalde is going to be moving down to Pearsall, but they're going to still show under Uvalde, and that's because of the lodging situation and opening weekend of dove season. And then also McGregor Task Force Strike Team 44 will be staged in Mother Neff State Park again. If you have any questions, let us know. Thanks.
Morning, John McGee, Safety. Had another good day yesterday. There were no serious accidents, injuries, or illnesses, so kudos to you all. Keep doing what you're doing, staying safe. We just heard the weather, and as we all watch all the drama with the weather, hoping that it'll do what they predict it'll do. Nevertheless, we do have some weather to deal with, and it's hot. The temperatures may be low, the heat indices are not that low, so you're going to still have to pay attention to the heat. Keep an eye on your buddies, check them for those symptoms of the heat-related injuries, and if you see them getting into distress, take action. Don't be bashful, don't be shy about it, just grab them, get them cooled down. We are still having fires. Granted, they're all small, relatively small and benign. We usually rope them, catch them in a day or two. Nevertheless, even a small fire like that has potential for serious accidents and injuries. So you still have to apply the basics. You got to install LCES. You got to go through it. You got to keep your situational awareness dialed up and pay attention to the details. Roadside starts. seems to be a cause for a lot of our fires. People dragging their chains and what have you. The IAP message today has a few hints, suggestions, guidelines about how to deal with these roadside starts, okay? Anybody seeing anything we're missing? All right, you guys keep an eye on each other, and we'll all be back again tomorrow.
Good morning, Susan Cornett, Logistics. Okay, September 1, this is the Texas Forest Service, new fiscal year for 2019. If you're here longer than today or tomorrow, your numbers will change. Your O numbers and your E numbers and your C numbers will change. Just be patient with us, continue using the numbers you're using now off of the 18 number, and just as soon as we get those, we will get them to you. So that, along with supply as well, some of the standing S numbers we have will go to the 2019 fiscal year number. So just remember that. Let us take care of that part for you. You just take care of being safe out there and doing the best job you can, and let us help you doing that by making sure you have the supplies and the equipment and the tools that you need. So have a great day.
Well, just to wrap things up, we said today's opening season of dove season, so just keep that in mind. If we have any IA out there, we don't have to just worry about all of our fire environment out there. We have to worry about folks out there running around with guns, so keep that in mind. And also want to thank Tom Bird for his time here. He's worked with this team a lot over the last 20 years, and welcome Chris. So with that, y'all just have a good, safe day. Thanks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes today's operational briefing. Don't forget to turn your cell phones back on, and y'all have a good, safe day. Watch out for the hunters.